What? Live stream? Oh, I guess it started. Did it start? Restream did that. Oh, that's tricky.
Here we are.
That's tricky. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go here. Just make sure my people know. I gotta see the chat.
That looks pretty live.
There we go. Hey everybody, welcome to a very special live stream from Glowforge headquarters here in Seattle, Washington. With me is CEO of Glowforge and all-around nice person, Dan Shapiro.
Thank you, Joel. It is great to see you again.
It's good to see you.
In real, live, in person. It's
neat.
been like a year and a half, 2 years since last Maker Faire.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Well, and this is the hashtag HotVax Summer, so we get to hang out and do cool things.
That's right. Got the armful.
So what we're doing today, we've got cool things to trace. I think that's the appropriate way to say it. Really neat artworks that were submitted by my Patreon audience. And we've got 3 at least to get through here on this stream. And Dan's got something really cool that he's going to show us that you can use just paper to make. And then, I don't know, I've got the chat over here. We might be able to take questions. We'll see what happens. And then we have cats. So, I'm sorry.
Not at the office.
Not at the office. No, it's at home. But listen, thanks for joining us. Why don't we give it why don't we start with a general question? Just how did Glowforge happen?
Yes, all this crazy stuff, and I still look at this thing. We were just talking before. If you look at it at the right angle, like the glowing Glowforge, you can see the laser. And I will still find myself just staring and like losing words because it's so magical. It's hard to believe like this thing is together. And you know, this all came out of a board game. I made this board game called Robot Turtles.
I remember that. I remember
programming
that.
principles to preschoolers. And I want to make a deluxe edition, and I was talking about all the different ways to do it. And when I looked, this is 2014, so I'm looking at like MakerBot and the sort of, and it's all one color. And I'm like, stringy plastic, one color was not inspiring. So I know it's come a long way since then.
There we go. That's what I wanted to hear.
I have a little Forester machine. I've told you.
You've told me.
I've got a resin machine and a few at home. But I wanted to come together with something that was like, that you could grab, that a kid could shove in their pocket, that would be colorful. And so what I wound up doing was laser cutting a bunch of acrylic full color prints to make this deluxe edition. And then I designed like castles and all this other stuff. And I was so entranced with this. I started out at a local makerspace, but I just wound up importing this carbon dioxide cutting laser straight from a factory in China and installing it into the garage. And everybody kind of thought I was crazy. And I was like, but man, everybody should get to have this experience. And it's so powerful because you can actually start with something that's 2D. You can start out with a drawing or with, people who do designs on like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, like anything. You make a PDF, you make a JPEG, you're making stuff.
It's true.
And then you can go and create crazy things like our space shuttle here or,
that is cool.
Yeah, right?
Can I hold it?
Yeah, please. I may regret saying that, but go for it. And that, by the way, was a design that we just published into our catalog a couple months ago. So there's a bunch of these that folks made. My wallet.
This is cool.
Like you can make things. You can make awesome things.
Well, part of what makes a laser cutter so enticing is it's part of a complete digital fabrication tool set. You've got additive with 3D printing. You've got laser cutting. A lot of people also have CNC mills to do milling of wood and other materials.
And metal. CNC mills are great for metal. Yep. And so that idea, like I wanted one of these, but I wanted one that wasn't terrible to use because this was an ancient thing that used cheat code. You can just set it flat on there.
That's cheating.
All right, go for it.
That's cheating.
And I wanted something where I could just like copy and paste, and I could try it. Ta-da! That's where this came from. So my co-founder Mark, he's in the office over there.
Hi, Mark.
He's still hard at work. And I got together and we're like, how could we make this affordable? How could we make this easy to use? How could we make it fast? How could we make it fit on a desktop? And ta-da!
There we go. Well, ease of use, I think you've knocked it out of the park, especially in an episode, I talked about the QR code in the materials.
Yeah.
Because with proof grade materials, being able to read it and program the settings for the laser, it's just like having a 3D printer slicer with built-in settings for the material and the machine. It's very, I called it the easy button.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Like you snap the reel in and it loads all the settings. You just don't have to worry about all that.
Well, we still worry because we're makers. That's what we do.
Yeah,
We
you
worry
can
about
fuss.
things.
And in fact, if we've got a little time, I'll actually do an engraving on Slate, and I'll show you a manual, so you can see the
There we
automatic,
go.
you can see the manual, the whole thing. If we get the overhead, you can actually see a piece of that material with a barcode. What is this incredible thing you're printing
this
here?
is this right here. So this is by my buddy Sean Rinna. He is a friend of mine. He's a veteran. He is a custom knife builder in Florida, and I said, Sean, I'd love for you to submit something. He's an incredible artist, and I said, just draw something, just come up with something and send it my way. And he came up with this. So it looks like it's a SpaceX sort of spacesuit with a skeleton inside or something like that. And Earth is the cradle of humanity, but one cannot remain in the cradle forever.
I just watched Apollo 13 with my kids this weekend.
When the rocket blasts off, tears, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And so so this is very resonant right now.
Well, this one's cool.
I'm gonna
This is
show them
Sean's. He actually, I bought a custom knife from him. Yeah, like he just takes the metal and the materials and just makes it custom and then takes really cool pictures with it. And so I wanted to support my friend.
That's fantastic.
And so,
we actually have a couple of knife creators, and I've seen two things using the laser.
Really?
One is I've seen them engrave full detailed artwork on the blade. And so you can do that. Titanium will engrave directly. And actually, I haven't played with this, but you can vary the power, and the color of the engraving varies with the power. So you can actually change the color based on how, like on your power settings.
Because the laser is embellishing the metal and reacting with the metal.
Yeah.
So it's going to create different hues.
Yep. And so you can do that.
That's
And then
cool.
I've seen folks take the knife scale, like the wood that makes the handle. Oh, it's done. The wood that makes the handle, and do a 3D engrave where it actually carves into and sculpts the surface. So you can create a pattern, you can create knurling, you can create texture.
See, that's cool.
Let's see what we created.
That's cool. Well, this is done. So you want to pop it out?
Yeah, let's do it.
How we doing? So Mad Monkey Makes, a friend of mine online, he had to
Yes.
get a leg amputated, and he's got a fake leg, and he's wondering, can his leg fit, his fake leg, not his real one, can his fake leg fit in the Glowforge?
How tall is your friend? I'm going to guess no, unless there's a surprise in the
Well,
answer.
if we remove the honeycomb, right?
You can print on something up to 2 inches deep if you remove the honeycomb.
Okay.
And my guess is that probably doesn't
Probably
qualify.
not.
But I actually did see somebody do an embellishment. I think what they did was they took a wood veneer. So this is a material, we sell it. You can buy it from third parties. I don't think I have any of it. Oh, no, I've got some over here. But basically it looks like a sheet of wood, but it's really thin. It's got a sticker on the back.
Right.
So you can engrave it, you can cut it, and then you can use it to embellish things. And so you can create with that. Look at this though.
This looks cool.
Now,
Let's see. Oh, so there's a little bit of, and I addressed this in a video. The I don't know. It's like a hint or a hue of a yellowing.
yep. So that's
So-
actually the vaporized wood redepositing on the material.
Well, is that a plywood?
This is.
It is a plywood. So is that
medium
some of the
basswood
glues
plywood.
of the ply as well?
Exactly.
So what do you-
but
wait,
what
what
you
are you
do
doing?
is, I'm just going to use duct tape because I don't have fingernails. But you can see the proof grade material has this masking. You can pull it off, and then you get that beautiful plywood underneath, and all the discoloration comes off.
I had to make a bunch of keepsakes for family, and do you know what I did for an hour? Just I picked at them.
I'm going to send you some masking tape, my friend. Save you a little time and some fingernails.
That makes so much sense. So what about here? Can you use tape to get this?
Yeah, you just go at it.
Can I
And
try?
actually, I'm being a little glib. You actually need Gorilla Tape. Regular, I said masking tape, not masking tape. Regular duct tape doesn't quite do it. You got to use Gorilla Tape, and there's a little bit of an art to it, but you'll see when you get it. If you go too fast, like the angle, you kind of
I
fuss a
see.
little bit.
Okay.
But there is a cheat code if you don't have Gorilla Tape. This is actually the almost as good substitute. Here, I'll show you. Grab.
Hold on. Look at
All
that.
right, you got it.
I'm doing it. I'm learning. Oh, that's cool. Okay, and then you can just press down again if you need to get it off.
Yep.
So look at that.
And if you don't have the Gorilla
You see
Tape,
that? Here, look at it. I did it. Did it.
if you don't have the Gorilla Tape, you just take a piece of masking off the back, and then you drag it across.
Oh,
like that.
okay.
And that'll
I was
get you
using
in
my
the
thumb
same
too to
place.
drag across just to kind of get it, but then
Yep.
your thumb gets angry at you after a while.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of letting cheap paper do the hard work here. There we go.
So that looks cool, and obviously,
we
okay.
go.
Let's say this is for Sean, my knife maker friend, and it looks fantastic.
Thanks, Sean. That's amazing.
It looks
I love
wonderful. So clearing off all of the protective masking on it, what's next? Like to preserve this, is it just natural products that you would to preserve the wood?
So
oils and stains and coatings and.
I used to do a lot of woodworking. I've
Okay.
got like full wood shop in my garage that never gets used anymore, and I hated finishing wood. So wanted nothing to do with that. What we do is at the factory, everything is custom sanded and then has a UV catalyzed furniture grade finish attached to it.
Oh.
So this is ready to go.
Okay.
This is an heirloom you can hand down to your kids, and it's going to last.
Oh.
The cherry turns red over time when the sun hits it, and it ages just like an antique.
The cherry I hit with a matte finish.
Yeah, and you can go over the top. So you can put a matte over the top.
Okay.
If you a matte finish if you don't want
looked
the
really
same
good.
shine. It's really fantastic.
Well, this though, I'm going to send to Sean. Absolutely.
amazing.
Sean sent me a knife. I'm going to send him his art.
That's so great. And you got another one here. Jeff gave us something.
Sean, I'm going to make you clean this up because my thumbs are tired.
We'll have a little pick and peel party.
Oh, so this one. Okay.
So what's Jeff been up to?
So here we go. So have a look at this. Let's see, where are we at? Are we right here? Yeah, look at that artwork. So I've got the story. It's in my email. So Jeff, this is his stepdaughter Audrey, and this was drawn on a whiteboard some years ago, and Jeff loved it. So he took a picture, and Audrey has been doing stuff in Tinkercad and just completed her first 3D printed combat robotics event.
Go Audrey. That's awesome.
I wish I was as cool as Audrey. So Jeff showed her how laser cutters and engravers work a while back, and she was fascinated. He said he doesn't have a Glowforge yet, but hopefully someday. And so the goal was, I thought, what if we take this, use trace, and make a neat keepsake that Jeff can have, because he loves this, and maybe he can show Audrey, and that will spur her on to greater things.
I love it.
Okay.
Let's throw it in there. Here, just lay it down flat in the middle.
Okay, so this is trace. This is, I guess
It's
we
like a
should explain
scanner.
it right. So imagine drawing something and then scanning it. The Glowforge will take care of that with its overhead camera.
You got it.
So just
There's
like
a
that?
camera right here on the lid, so I'm going to close that. It's going to send the picture over, and I'm going to grab.
So there must be
This
some sort of
right
magic in here because the camera's here and it stretches, what, 20 inches wide, right?
Yeah.
So there's some
20
crazy,
by 12 from
crazy wide angle
8
stuff.
inches away.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual image looks like a GoPro on steroids. It's this giant balloon, whatever, and we do all this crazy math to go figure out, dewarp it, and everything else.
How good is your dewarping math?
Well, come on over and take a look.
Okay.
The one thing that'll get you is you can see how it's curved, and because it's not perfectly flat, that gets amplified. So if we cared, we go in there and like put some little weights on it, but it's fine for this. So
I think it still has the spirit of it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna show you how to do this. I said trace.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this around it, and then I can use.
That was quick.
That's it. I can use the
that was
arrows to
fantastic.
make it like brighter or darker, but it's great. Whatever.
Well, okay, so trace is going to rely on the contrast of the image, right?
Yep.
If someone were to put in something with pencil shading, how would that handle it?
It would make it pure black and white. So take
Okay.
the darkest areas of black and the lightest areas white
Okay.
and everything else, and then you have the arrow keys to go adjust the everything else. I also, if I wanted to like cut out the middle of the E for some dumb reason, if I click on that, it would cut it out. So you can actually do cut lines with this too, not just engravings. But I'm going to say place this.
Okay.
And it's going to go and say, great, digitized it, ready to engrave.
So I can take it out of the machine.
You can take it out of the machine. In fact, we have paper settings. I could engrave it back onto the paper if for some dumb reason I wanted to do that. Or I could, like, if I drew on wood, this is actually kind of cool. If you draw a circle on wood, you can cut out the circle that you drew right there on the wood. So you can actually sculpt the piece of material by drawing on it. But for here, pull that out.
Well, just a sec.
Let's
I
put
want
this
to
in
talk about
instead.
that for just a sec
Yeah.
because if I 3D print something on one of my printers at home
Yep.
and it has a design and I want to use the laser to make an embellishment on the plastic, then rather than trying to match it up and have other lasers, they show you the path, right? The path of the laser,
Yep.
they'll do it real quick so you kind of get an idea. I can put it in here and then I can directly embellish the thing I want onto the plastic at the precise spot I want.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually saw a customer do this with a cutout for their sink. And what they did was they put the material on it, they traced where they wanted it to go, and then good luck with that. And then they and
This
then
is
they
harder
put
than
the
it
thing
should
they
be.
drew. Oh, hold on, leave that open because we're going to put some
that's
material
right.
in there.
Look at that. I'm just making
and
it
then
work
they
for you.
put the thing they drew in the Glowforge, used it to go trace and cut the outline.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's
really
a heavy
like
lid. they're good hinges.
Okay, so I have one of these at home, and I did notice that I had to prop that up, just like a 1/16 of an inch, just not much.
It likes to be flat.
And I think it was an error in the table, not the Glowforge itself. But the lid closing is very satisfying. It's a very, very satisfying feel.
It's got that when you drop it in. And you can see on my screen, I've now got the preview of that. The overhead camera's showing this. I've got our trace. So I'm going to turn it right side up.
Okay.
I'm going to drag it into place. I'm going to make it about that big. And then I'm going to create an outline around it.
And it defaults to 1/4 inch.
Yeah, and then I can change it to whatever I want. So I'm going to make that a little bigger.
Just a little bit.
And
But the kind of squiggles where it went inside, can you go to about 0.4?
0.4.
Yeah.
Boink.
I think that's interesting. I really, really like that.
We'll leave the little window in there?
I think so. Yeah.
That's it. Print. It's one of my favorite things. I can take a kid, I can take a drawing, and I can go turn that into a toy or a piece of art or whatever else. It's that fast. So, you know what it's doing right now?
It was measuring the height of the wood.
You got it. And do you know how it's doing it?
Magic.
Yes, that is correct.
I don't know.
It's actually shining a super low power red laser at an angle, and then a macro camera on the head takes a picture of where that beam intersects the material, which lets us figure out the height.
But by the deformity of the light, depending on the angle?
The higher the material is, the further to the right the beam intersects.
Oh,
so if
I
it's down
see.
here, it's to the left. If it's up here, it's to the right, because the beam's
So it's
at an
really
angle.
just offset math.
It's all trigonometry. Would you like to push the button?
I would. I really would. May I?
Please, be my guest.
This is for you, Jeff and Audrey. That's fun.
Ta-da!
You know, I remember I had, a Full Spectrum. They make lasers.
Yeah.
And I had one of those, and it didn't do any sort of auto focusing or auto height adjustments, which was fine, but I had a little puck that I would have to drop a lens onto and then tighten it into place. And so what your process is doing is effectively digitally doing that.
The state of the art with the big Chinese laser that I had in my garage at the time was the puck.
Okay.
And you went and put the thing in, and actually, instead of moving the lens, it would move the entire material. It would be like on an elevator, and so I'd put the lens in, and and then the elevator would move up until the puck touched the thing.
You had a really cool laser.
And I ruined more prints by forgetting to put the puck in or move it or whatever. Like, I kept messing that up, so I was like, okay, we gotta take care of that for you. We gotta just make it all internal, make it all automatic.
So here's the question though. Let's say you wanted to use the laser to embellish glass.
Yeah.
Glass is transparent.
Yep.
So how does it do beam measurement? Do you have to put an opaque surface on the glass to measure?
So usually what folks do is they'll lay down some masking tape on the glass before, because it gives you a nice result anyway.
Oh, okay.
But I have actually, I don't know if here we go. I've direct engraved glass, and the pattern matching that finds the dot in that macro view is pretty darn good, and it will pick it up pretty reliably even without anything on it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's impressive.
That's pretty good.
So so you can do that, or you can put something on top of it as well.
So here's an interesting question. I'm handing that to you because I don't want to break it. So the question though is, with a machine like this, obviously there's going to be people that want to use it to possibly make things, possibly start a business out of their garage. And as the person or as the company that created this platform, then have you been finding ways to find blanks? Or you know what I mean? Like, do you just in your head now, is it full of, here's where I find 10,000 of this or 500 of this, or does that make sense?
You're talking about actual materials.
Yeah, materials. Like let's say that right there. Someone wanted to make 10 of those. Or someone wanted to make a bunch of coasters with this material.
Yep.
And so obviously making this platform, you've now had to find ways to source more than just one or two of these.
You know, what
is that? Has it been troublesome, or are there? I don't know.
We've really focused on the core materials, the plywood, the leather, etc., and we really focused on the core materials that don't work great from the store. So if you go buy plywood from the store, what you're going to find is you go buy Home Depot plywood. It's going to take you a while to dial it in, and then you'll be like, great, I got it. And on your second print, you're going to have this like football-shaped thing in the middle, and you're going to go, why is there a football-shaped thing in the middle of my plywood? And then if you're like me, you're going to go and you're going to pull it apart, and what you're going to see is there was a knot in the interior of the plywood. And they punched it out with a football-shaped punch, and they glued in a plug.
Yeah.
And nobody cares because it's in the middle, and nobody looks in the middle of plywood, except the laser. The laser looks in the middle of the plywood.
The laser looks in the middle of the plywood.
So you have a laser-proof football in the middle of your print, and you're like, oh, okay, well, what do I do about that? I don't know. I guess I just write off 1 in 3 of my prints because they have a football in the middle.
Is it that often that they do?
It's about 1 in 3. I mean, like,
I guess they don't really care because it's usually on
it's
a wall.
Cabinet.
Yeah,
like,
or a cabinet. Yeah.
It's in the middle. You can't see it. So one of the things that we do that's unique is the plywood that we source. We actually buy interior plies that are clear, that don't have knots, which normally you only use for the exterior.
You're talking proof grade.
For the proof grade material that we sell. Right,
okay.
like here, like this stuff. And so we make sure that the interior grades are clear as well as the exterior grades. So of course there's no knots on the outside, there's also no knots on the inside, so you wind up with that. Just one example. I already talked about the finishing and sanding and all that stuff.
Okay, well then proof grade material that you guys are sourcing, is this something that other people can source?
I mean, it's custom fabricated for us. Like we literally have the people gluing it up, and the leather is being custom tanned
for us. Okay, so this proof grade Glowforge material is made to be proof grade Glowforge material.
And by the way, like if you have a laser, if you've like hacked up a K40 and you've got it working for you, if you've got a laser from Full Spectrum or anybody else, like go for it. It's great. It's it's designed to work well with CO2 lasers. And while the barcodes and all that magic only works on ours, it's just created to work well with lasers. But to answer your question, for stuff like Slate, you get Slate from anywhere. It works great. My daughter started buying Slate coasters for 40 cents each off of Michaels and selling them on Etsy for $4 each. She has better profit margins on her coaster business than we do here at Glowforge.
That's perfect.
90% markup.
That's that's a proud dad moment, isn't it?
And so, yeah, doing stuff like this.
And I want one of these, by the way. That looks really good.
Right?
I'm not going to lie.
They're fantastic.
No, but the drink too.
That does look pretty good.
I mean, the only way to properly test a coaster is to put a cold drink on it.
With the drink on top.
Just saying.
And Slate's terrific. So we'll do one of these actually. When we're done with this,
okay.
I've got a piece of Slate that's like
we got a really good one.
Sized, so we can do one of those.
We got a really good one.
And show you how that works. But yeah, all the different materials, people come up with amazing stuff to laser. I'm just looking around. You've got acrylic, of course, and I love paper. We could do some paper too.
You seem to really like it. So it's almost like
look at that.
Well, there are people that do paper craft, and people who have impeccable, tiny little tools that just kind of carve things out, right? And you've essentially cheated, but it looks good.
The thing I love about the Glowforge is it can turn you into an amateur at almost any creative. Like, there's nothing I'm going to do that's going to compete with somebody who's a real paper cutting. Like,
sure. No,
but I can do amateur
wizards.
paper cutting. Like, I made a paper cut birthday card for my wife.
Oh, really?
And that's not, yeah, I've got it here.
I have to ask, Dan.
Yep.
So, because I've been using 3D printers for years, and I always tell my wife that I could 3D print something as a gift, or I could make her something that was 3D printed, and typically that's not what she wants. So then do you, with a maker platform, are you making things that
I forget. I forget how magical it is. I was going over to a friend. These are close friends, Rand and Geraldine, who I've known for ages, and they've known me. They've been by the office. They know everything. And I went over for dinner, and I bought them a bottle of wine. At the last minute, I was like, oh, I'm going to go print our D&D characters on coasters. So I went and took the little portraits that had and I'm like, I'm going to go put these on 4 coasters, so it'll be cute. Yeah, wine, whatever. Those coasters, they're like, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh, I kind of forgot. Like, this is what I do. This is not. And they were so excited about the coasters. And
that's amazing.
I forget how magical it is, right? Like, the ability to create something, or like a custom cutting board.
Yeah.
I made a custom cutting board for my mom, and she was so excited about it. It is easy to take for granted the creative power that you have with one of these because it's so simple and fast.
Sure. Oh, I agree. Well, plus, I mean, from my world where I'm coming from, I love that you can pair this with other things. This tool and the tool set can make nearly anything, custom things, lots of things, pretty things, useful things, functional things. It's just, it's amazing. Once once this gets into more people's hands, it's incredibly inspiring to have this sort of power in your garage or your makerspace to be able to just knock stuff out like this.
And I think it's all about the materials. So being able to say like, okay, you've got plastic with your 3D printer, you've got metal or wood sculpting with your CNC, and then having all the sheet goods at your disposal, you know, leather and wood and everything else, and then putting those things together. Like if you're going to make a chessboard, the laser might not be the best way to make the chess pieces, but oh my gosh, it's the best way to make the board.
I actually I did a video on that, and I used an IDEX 3D printer, so it had two heads on the same axes.
Oh,
and
cool.
so I was able to print the king, the queen, the pawns, the knight, the rook, all of them at the same time. So, you know, the king's at the same time, queen. And so what I did is I put a board in my, at the time, full spectrum laser, but unfortunately, the board was not perfect. And so I tried, right? I tried to use the tools that were best for the job, but unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
But it was
frustrating when
fun.
you have a big project that doesn't
fun.
come together. It sometimes takes a couple tries. One of the things I do love about a laser, though, is iteration is so quick. Like, I can go and I can mess up 3 times in the time it would take me to do a single print on my 3D printer.
Well, actually, this actually brings up a really good question. So as far as iteration time, if you're iterating on something and you want to create version 1, I think because there's HD engrave and there's non-HD engrave, so you could technically run the laser faster for a slightly less quality version.
Yeah,
just
there's
to see if it
draft,
works.
regular,
Draft.
and high definition.
Okay.
So you get to pick whichever, and that lets you really go quick. And different materials. So like you can run a print on paper to see what it looks like. You can do the print on draft board, which is like a less expensive $4 a sheet material. And then you can say, now I'm going to make an heirloom for the family. I'm going to do that in cherry. So I was making a tea bag organizer for our kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Because my wife's half British, so we got lots of tea all over. And the kids.
Tea's
of course,
good.
have
Tea's good,
herbal.
man. I love tea.
And so, it was made out of 2 sheets of this. So I started out using cardboard, and I cut a couple of them in cardboard just to make sure it fits. And then I did one in draft board, and I got it almost right. And then I did the final one in cherry, which was gorgeous and looks like something you bought at the store.
But talking about cardboard, we're talking about a laser. Laser burninates things, and so how do you, and paper too? How do you safely cut cardboard or paper without burning it or without having it catch fire or something like that? Do you know what I mean?
So you always watch it while it's going,
Okay.
because you want to keep an eye on it. You can blow out if anything,
Sure.
if anything happens, as long as you're watching. That said, we actually, for cardboard, you're going to experiment yourself and dial in the settings. We may or may not have something coming along those lines. Stay tuned. But what we just released,
What's that? Oh, good. Okay, so Sean, this is Shawnigan's shenanigans. That's his.
Oh,
so he just popped in the
thank you.
chat.
That's so
he's going to see
cool.
that. So I'm sending it to you, Sean.
Oh,
Right
that's
here. There you
amazing.
are. Yeah, I'm sending it to you. It's pretty, just like you.
But we just released settings for paper, so you can put in paper. You can take that same file and just change the settings to paper, and you can engrave and cut that on a sheet of paper.
That's pretty awesome.
And I was telling you before, I saw this thing on Reddit, this Hexaflexagon.
That's right, we got to
this
do that,
weekend.
yeah.
Here, I'll show you. So this thing, I saw it, and I said, yeah, I could do that. And so I just made that design this weekend. I used Adobe Illustrator, but you could use whatever.
Oh, so Inkscape, if someone didn't have
Inkscape.
the Creative
My
Cloud.
daughter
Inkscape
uses
I was
Inkscape.
just going to say.
Yep.
Well, here's something that's really interesting about this, and really any of the other platforms that work on flat material, is that, well, with 3D printing, we have print-in-place mechanisms and live hinging and stuff. But with this, if you have a flat material and you cut out the shapes, you've created yourself a 3D shape using the 2D shapes that fold into it.
I mean, if you look around you at our walls, at our tables, most of the things around us are made from sheet goods that are
Yeah.
assembled, right? Like, that's IKEA. It's a great business. Assemble stuff out of pieces. And so I love designs
That's cool.
where you can actually include the assembly with it. There's a dice tower that's up for free on our forums. And somebody made this incredible dice tower with all these internal mechanisms, and it latches closed. It's got a secret dungeon for your D20 when it's been bad and everything else. In case you can't tell,
A secret dungeon. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so I went in and I tweaked it to go include serrated tabs, so there's no glue required. So now the latest iteration of this, you just tap it together with like a mallet, and it is permanently welded together, so you don't have any glue.
Friction fit?
Yeah.
That's
and each
cool.
tab, because precision is free with a laser, each tab is actually serrated like a fish hook with like single pointed arrowheads. So when you jam it in
goes
there,
in, doesn't come out.
one way.
I see.
Shall we pull this out?
May I?
Go ahead.
Do, do, do. You have
prepare
to
the
make
duct
that,
tape.
that noise, like you've discovered something.
Dun,
One
dun,
of the
dun.
most satisfying things you can do with a laser cutter is pick up the material and have yours left, right? I'm gonna go really awkward.
Wow.
Look at that. There it is. Get out.
The drop.
Okay. Well, I got the material, just not the
There
the
we
masking.
go.
It's fine. Everything's fine. So here, we'll put that over
Wanna
there.
do that.
Sure. Should we? Let's get that part out.
So this one is draft board. We picked the draft board, which
Okay.
is really nicely paintable,
Oh.
because we thought Audrey might want to put a little
There we
personal
go.
expression on that, I think.
You know.
Here.
Okay. Well, thank you. So if we look at this, let me
Yep.
borrow this for just a second.
Draft board
We've-
minus Audrey.
We've cut into now this added sticker with the QR code. Does that present any problems?
We just dial the power so that it goes right through, and we picked the sticker so it wouldn't provide much challenge to the laser.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So let's see.
you can pull that off, and
Did I get
so
it?
draft board is a little.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it takes a little more finesse, but you got it.
Got
You
it.
got the magic fingers,
I mean, really.
or fingernails.
I was just gonna say, I spent a lot of time doing this, so like, it's just like old hat now. This tape stuff, though, it's like magic.
Yeah, the only thing about Gorilla Tape is it loses its stick instantly when it touches your finger.
Does
so
it
you
really?
have to, you have to use the clean piece of it, because if you've touched it at all, it will just not stick.
I feel like I should have left this on when I'm sending it, not because it needs protection, but just because
Just to mess with Jeff?
others should experience this wonderful
The joy?
this wonderful joy that I'm experiencing. Yeah.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Do you want to do something quick, and we can do?
Let's do the
without
quick
any
thing
peeling?
while I'm weeding all of the material away from this. What do you got?
All right, let's just do the Flexagon. The
Okay, let's do it.
Hexaflexagon.
How long does it take?
Let's do the Reddit special. I don't remember. I literally made this weekend, and I printed like 2 of them, and said that was neat. But it's pretty fast. We'll
Sure.
find out. Here, I'm going to tape it down.
So,
the
because you're
corners.
using paper, you got to
Yep.
make sure it's okay.
You can also, so the tray is actually a ferrous steel, so you can, magnets work as well. I just don't
I
happen
was
to have any
just gonna
sitting
say
around.
that means magnets would work.
Yeah, it's spendier, but that was something we wanted to include in there just to make it a little easier to lay up your work, whatever that might be.
And these are, so we're working with the Pro model, right?
That's right. It's
So
got
the non-Pro model, does it
pass-through.
have the same ferrous
It does.
crate at the bottom? Okay.
It does. That's standard on all of it. There we go. All right.
How's everybody
Dun,
doing?
dun,
Sean likes it. Oh, someone says, Yoav, how much does the Glowforge weigh? I don't know if, I think they meant to say weigh.
It's about 40, 45 pounds, I want to say.
not terrible.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's easy for 2 people to move. It is possible for 1 person to move.
Did you just point at yourself?
I have done it before. I don't recommend it. It's not the reason I have a bad back, but it is definitely not recommended if you have
You know,
a
at
bad
some
back.
point, honestly, the Glowforge Olympics,
Oh, right.
you know, having some sort
The
of
caber toss?
contest.
The-
Well, maybe. I mean, it depends. I mean, I don't want to. Maybe there's some Glowforge units that deserve it. Maybe they pissed you off. But I think it would be interesting to have some sort of. I mean, using the
I
weight
love it.
or the
One
size
on the shoulder
or the
and
whatever.
run.
I don't
Well,
know.
I'm set up. Okay, so I've got my laptop.
Not all my ideas are good.
And so it automatically recognized proof grade material, but we have settings for paper. So I just typed in paper. It's going to tell me I've got that. And you can see I've got my Flexagon design in here.
Where? Let's see.
It's pretty simple. I'm just
I
gonna-
see red and I see purple.
Yeah.
So purple
Red's
is
cut, purple is score.
score. Okay.
And I'm going to say print. So I put that in place. I hit
It's gonna
print.
take no time, right? Oh, there.
I think it's going to be pretty quick because paper does not stand much of a chance against the 45 watts of bite
Yeah.
of the Glowforge Pro.
Okay. Oh man, I got to see if I can get it done before the laser gets the.
I think you're going to lose this race, my
I
friend.
might. Well, I don't know. I'm on the back. Oh crap!
Yeah.
It's gonna go really fast, isn't it?
I'll wait. I'll wait so we can
Are
do
you?
that. It's actually 1 minute 11 seconds.
It's ready to go. I think
We'll
I'm
push
gonna
the
beat
button
it.
when
No,
you're done.
I'm pretty confident.
All right, make it happen.
I'm trying.
This is actually really fun. The scoring, it's going to go over and dial the laser down to almost nothing. So it's just going to toast the surface of the material. And what's so cool about it is it looks great, but it also creates a score line that's really easy to fold.
Oh, so the score is barely there, just enough.
Just kissing the surface of the material.
Oh, that's cool.
And look at that.
Part of what makes this sort of thing more successful for everyday people are these sort of settings that make it easier to do the everyday materials. Part of the reason why Prusa has a successful platform, other than the hardware is built well and he has good kits, is because that slicer and all the material settings are in there, right?
And look, I mean, I've got an engineering degree and I can fake it with the best of them. I would mess up all the time. You just forget to do things.
Yeah.
Or the materials change and, you know, you go buy it the next time, it's not the same as last time you bought it. Whatever else the case may be. It's so powerful to just have the thing work every time.
So I see the paper fluttering. Is there a fan blowing on where the laser hits?
Yeah, there's air that comes in on this side, moves across, goes out the other side, and there it goes. It's done. If I was worried about it, I would just leave little notches, and then you could tear it out.
I see. Tear it out.
But I just made this for my own entertainment. And
Well, here, while you're taking that out,
yeah,
you wanna bring it in on this? Look at that. That looks fantastic, Jeff and Audrey. See, and that little hole right there, I thought that was interesting, and so I made it so. This is cool. Well, I'll get this sent off.
Prerogative.
Yeah, I'll get this sent.
Oh yes. Absolutely.
Like tortillas, like.
Wait, I'll see your tortillas, and I'll raise you guacamole. We've actually had a heart surgeon who decided he was just going to go crazy, and he
Wait. Is heart surgeon important to the story?
It's not, but I know the guy. He's great. You might have met him. He was at Maker Faire when we were both there.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, he engraved guacamole for Cinco de Mayo. He also had custom matzah for Passover because that's the kind of guy he was.
That sounds, yeah. But tortillas, I mean, you could create this out of tortillas.
Yeah, you could do a hexaflexa tortilla, and I don't see any reason you shouldn't.
Positive waves, 549 euros from Ireland. High five from Ireland. So we give him a high five.
High five.
There it is. High five.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
As
you're
you can
full.
see,
So
like-
super easy. So it's almost like I don't want to say pre-creased, but you've just. It's like when people have those. You get those USPS boxes, and the cardboard has those little fold lines.
Yeah, like
Same
the
sort of thing,
perforation
right?
that. So it's really easy. I'm not going to go all the way through because I don't want to deal with gluing it. You have to glue the tabs on this. But that's, I mean, like you can see how easy that is, and then you wind up with something like that. So
That's cool.
it is. If I was better at origami, I would probably make even more amazing things. But this is a fun 15-minute project, and it really was. Like I found an outline of this. It was 15 minutes for me to go just draw the lines, print one. Didn't work because the tabs were the wrong size, so I couldn't glue it together. Fix it, print another one, and you're done.
Well, for a
15 minutes later.
a parent that maybe has a child's birthday party and they're trying to decide on activities for the birthday party.
Oh my gosh.
Something like this, you know,
Yeah.
you could prepare it really easily. That seems really cool.
Actually, my kids, a couple birthdays ago, we got a bunch of, I mean, what more horrible thing could a parent do than send all the birthday party attendees home with pets? And we did. We got a bunch of jelly jars and we got a bunch of sea monkeys. And all the kids went, I know, we're awful people. And they filled up their own, you know, pebbles and this and that. And then they just came in and they drew sea creatures, and we went and laser cut sea creatures and put them in the jam jars. And so they had this custom aquarium with sea monkeys and the custom sea creatures.
Okay, that's kind of cool. For when you said send kids home with pets, I thought you were going to be like the
Kittens
Oprah
for
of
everybody.
The Oprah of dogs, right? You get a dog. You get a dog.
It was laser cut sea creatures.
Yeah,
so it was a little more
I will
approachable.
let that one go because that's fantastic.
So should we try stone?
Yes, let's do
The big finale?
I think so. And this one, this is the design from Fotis, right?
Yes.
Fotis Mint in Greece. He drew something for us. Andrew Smith with a $5. I've been following Glowforge since it was first announced. I love it and hope to get one day. Thanks for creating quality products. That's from Andrew Smith.
Thank you, Andrew.
It's very nice of you, Andrew.
We have been at it for a while and getting better every day. One of the things that I love is that we're always sending out new features and upgrading stuff. Like the ability to do paper presets is brand new. So I just took this you don't actually have to do this, but somebody on our team put out the sticker paper, so I'm using it. You could use masking tape as well. This just gives you a little bit of a cleaner engrave when you're using the slate tile. So I just put the sticker on the slate tile, nice and simple.
Okay.
And then I'm, making it stick. You want to throw that in there?
I'm gonna make it stick.
It's very soothing, actually. It's got a nice sound. You kind of massage the fingertips.
Everyone's asking about food items
Are they really?
As well, they
now.
should.
Steaks, pizza, cookies.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so we talk about
They didn't
food
ask
safe.
about pancakes.
Not yet.
There's
food safe.
pancakes.
Food safe 3D printing. We talk about it. How the material that makes the thing can't necessarily itself be always food safe. I made a lot of cookie cutters just because you could wash them under warm water and not have to worry about it, but you can't really autoclave or put things in the dishwasher that you've made. But with this though, like the laser itself, it's just light plus plus.
It's just light.
And so, I mean, light by itself is food safe.
So the disclaimer that I have to say is,
if
if you've used your Glowforge for something that isn't food, then you shouldn't eat food you put in your Glowforge. Because theoretically, you can have particles flying around and you don't know what those particles are because there's airflow and everything else. That said, it doesn't touch the food in any way. So you're exactly right. There's no tool touching it. There's nothing there.
So you're saying if you've done this, you shouldn't do it, but
I'm
it can
saying
do it.
The food should be considered decorative.
You've eaten decorative food, haven't you?
I have eaten decorative food, but it should be considered decorative. Go ahead and throw that
Okay,
in
listen.
there.
Everybody's talking about Glowforge and lasering food. I see an episode. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. We're gonna Glowforge. We're
Yep.
gonna Glowforge decorative food.
I've done custom grill marks on steak. That's fun. I've
Dan?
done. I've cut chocolate. Like if you get it nice and thin, you can cut the chocolate.
Rich asked about chocolate, and
Yep.
Nolan asked about pizza, and Chris asked about steak.
What about peeps?
I have not seen laser peeps.
Well, you know, if you heat up marshmallow, it expands.
We might be onto something.
If you okay, here's what I've lasered peeps.
Really?
They grow.
What happened?
They grow.
Oh, okay, well, I guess that was more or less what
I mean, that was
should
it.
have
Like
expected.
that's the punchline.
So you asked about like if you have your own material. Let me show you how
Well, this is
works,
gonna be
'cause the
own
slate
material,
isn't in
right?
there. Right, exactly. So I've got this wonderful UI that lets me do all sorts of crazy stuff, and I can say speed. If you go to our forum at community.glowforge.com, you can type in like slate settings, and you'll find a whole bunch of people who've done all the work for you.
Okay, so does Glowforge ever take community settings that they found to be good and integrate them into the app?
Well, for example, we just put paper in here, and while I don't think that came directly from like a community setting, that was definitely from, we know people are doing this, they want to make it easy to do, they want that present. So like, I don't think we copied the numbers off the forum. We actually had somebody go through and do a ton of testing across like different kinds of paper and make sure that it worked for everybody, but the idea is there. So, okay.
We've got
Cthulhu.
Cthulhu, yeah, from Fotis Mint.
That is pretty amazing. I'm going to zoom that in. So
he drew that.
That's incredible. By the way, I turned it sideways because it's faster to engrave wide things than tall things.
Well, it's dot matrix.
Yeah, exactly. Like once you get up ahead of steam, you want to keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to tuck that end that's sticking up, tuck that down.
Okay.
Just to be sure it
Want me
stays
to-
put.
yeah.
Yeah, just open it up and.
Okay.
And well, there, I got it.
Oh,
Here,
but
I'm
we just
gonna wrap around
moved
the
it.
bottom. I know. That's okay. We'll get it right. So I'll just tuck that under there.
So this is where they broadcast when they're on the
go.
Home Shopping Network.
Yeah, it's true. We have done that a couple of times, and it is a trip.
We're a
being
little
on
higher
live
class
national
here.
TV. You know, your peeps are my peeps. There is let's see. There's a different level of technical expertise when we're doing that. All right, how's that
So we've
look?
got Cthulhu, and it's high contrast, black and white.
Yep.
So in the purple areas or blue or whatever it is, laser will be on,
Yep.
and it's per the settings you set.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we'll see how long it'll take. This will actually predict, and it's pretty accurate, down to a few seconds. It'll predict how long the whole thing
That's not
takes.
bad.
Engraving, of course, is the slowest thing because you're rastering around.
Yep.
And you know what? The actual laser dot is about 4/1000ths of an inch.
Okay.
And you can position it to less than 1,000th of an inch accuracy. So it is incredibly precise. And if you want to do
wow.
like if you want to do over 1,000 lines per inch, you go do over 1,000 lines per inch.
But you can Really, it has that resolution on X and Y. I mean, just
Absolutely.
precise.
Yep.
Jeez.
Oh, this is, let's see. This is telling me, there we go. Yeah, it's ready.
Now, it
Oh,
said
look at this.
highlighted areas might be damaged. It said that.
Let's hit the button and then let's do that. I'm just
Okay.
looking at time and I'm like, this is perfect because you'll be done in like 2 minutes
Okay.
before the end of the
You wanna
stream.
hit, you want to hit it?
I get to do it.
Yeah, you can hit it. Yeah, you can
very
create Cthulhu.
satisfying.
You can bring about Cthulhu.
So it actually scans your drawing and it says, I'm looking at this, I'm doing a thermal simulation, and I think these lines are too close together. I think that you should go double check this design before you do it. And the reason that it complained is because I left this thing up on copy paper. So it's like, if you try to do that on copy paper, it's going to be a hot mess.
It would be poof.
Yeah. And it's right. So that was, you know.
Oh, there was
thank you.
times when I was cutting cardboard and I was like, ooh, that looks. Yep. Stop.
Abort.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're there with a wet rag, it's easy to take care of that. Now this, like.
So okay, what are the settings for this?
This was 1,000 speed, 100
Meaning
power,
what? What does
225.
1,000 speed mean?
We referred, our customers referred to them as moon units. They're unitless magic. We wanted 0 to 1,000, so like you just have a nice easy range,
Okay.
and 0 to 100, so that they wouldn't overlap. So if you hear numbers, you can tell which they are, because
see.
it goes
So
from
it's almost
100
like-
to 1,000 in speed.
So like it's from 0 to 1,000 in speed, it's almost like a really fine
It actually
dial.
goes from 100 to 1,000.
100 to
in speed,
1,000.
and then from
Oh.
0 to 100 in power. So if
Okay.
you can't reverse your speed and power settings accidentally.
Oh, I see. Because if you want full power, you can go to 100. But if you want full speed, it's up to.
I think it's actually 101 is the lowest speed you can get for that reason. Anyway, you don't ever want to go at 101. It's very slow, and it would do bad things to your material.
Would it really?
You'd gouge a pretty deep
What
hole in
are some of the
whatever it was.
crazy things you've done with the Glowforge? Like super fast, super slow, super
Oh, yeah.
deep.
My favorite is on the community forum, they had a smallest and biggest print competition. So smallest print was a lentil.
What's a lentil?
Yeah, first runner-up was a grain of rice, but the lentil was the smallest.
Wait, you mean the laser etching onto the lentil?
I think they wrote a word on the lentil. Like, not a dot. It was actually a design that you could see. And definitely the grain of rice was, I think, a name, but yeah, like a full word on a grain of rice. So that was smallest. And biggest was a 50-foot long sidewalk stencil. So they took a roll of cardboard.
the pass-through.
And they did the pass-through.
Okay.
Unrolled it and like did this giant sidewalk stencil. It was a Greta Thunberg quote, I think.
Okay.
And it was amazing. And so they had to go 3 floors high so that you could photograph the whole thing. So that's your
That's
range.
really cool.
That's your scale. Like from biggest to smallest. From a
we got
lentil
it,
to a sidewalk.
Here we go. That's really cool. So we got another super
What do
chat.
we got?
This is from Joseph Cobble with a $5. Let me get this straight. You ignored the software's warnings while summoning Cthulhu.
Yes. Otherwise, if you were going to listen to the warnings, would you ever summon Cthulhu?
I don't think so.
No.
I think you have to be. Yeah.
Couple questions
Goes without saying.
about the exhaust, but they don't see the exhaust system. They're wondering, how do you deal with the fumes?
So right here is a dryer hose. Same thing that you actually put on a dryer. Comes with your Glowforge.
Yeah.
And you can either run it out a window or door, or my daughter's out in the garage lasering and she runs it out the garage
Or
door.
I've got the
Compact filter.
There we go. Yeah, the filter
Exactly.
kit for it.
Yeah, and that's the size of a recycle bin.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, it's about.
One of the interesting things, it doesn't turn on when you start the laser. It's a manual thing. There's no ins outs.
I do have a like a $15 off of Amazon wireless button that you can just hit the thing and then it turns it on and then it turns all that on. So if you
really?
want to save yourself a little fussing, you can do that.
Well, no, I mean it's right there. But I was expecting a secondary data cable to be like, turn on now.
There is no plug for the secondary data cable, so
That's fun.
so you got to flip the switch.
That's fun. Super chat. Andrew
at
Rogers,
Cthulhu
$19.99. Are you out of your mind for post-stream milkshakes? Oh, when we do live streams.
Yeah.
Part of people send super chats where they can, send me a few bucks and be like, go or berate me or whatever. A lot of times I say that goes to the milkshake fund. And so it's nice for milkshakes. So I'm gonna. So my producer David's right there. We're gonna get milkshakes on the way home.
Nice.
And then next time we do something together, I think we'll do
I'll
do
go get
milkshakes or
milkshakes.
coffee or something.
Yeah.
Pretzels. Oh yeah.
Where do you get milkshakes?
So, I really like Dick's Burgers. I usually get a strawberry
yeah.
shake.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good. However, there is a restaurant in Shoreline called Sonny's, and they make a cookies and cream milkshake that was really good. But during last summer, I think it was summer before last, they had a Marion berry milkshake.
Oh man.
You know, like the darker berries with vanilla ice cream. It was just, oh, it's so good.
That sounds incredible. I have not seen a laser milkshake. I suspect I will not. That does seem a bridge too far.
A laser milkshake.
Yeah.
How will we do that?
I will tell you what I don't think you can. But what I have seen is folks who laser acid. Can't remember what they lasered. Maybe it was just cardboard, and then use that as a stencil to do stencils on drinks.
Oh, sure. I've seen
there's
that.
bars that will actually do that, and then powdered sugar or whatever it is over the top. It looks amazing.
It's really cool because you can, well, with any like cocoa powder, powdered sugar, you know, any of those, you're getting really fine particulate, and this can make fine holes in stuff, and so you can actually get a really good detail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That seems really cool.
And gosh, we were talking. You know what? We do have 2 lasers here. I can kick off one more print. I think we've got time.
Do we?
How
long do we have you? Do we have you to 7?
Yeah, we got.
So we got 9 minutes.
I think I could do a 9-minute print. I'm going to show off one more thing I made, which was I was excited about. So customers did big and small. I wanted to do precise. Precision.
Precision. Okay.
So I'll show you what I cooked up. Let's see if I've got a piece of material around here.
Well, here, while you're talking, here's a question.
Yeah.
So with 3D printing, we're dealing with round nozzles.
Plywood.
And round nozzles, obviously, when you make a 90-degree corner, it's not a corner because you're dealing with a round material coming out.
Like dog bone.
So the laser itself is round. I mean, the light is round still, but because it's so small, you can still get a accurate corner.
It is about 4 1/1000ths of an inch rounded.
Okay.
Actually, about 2 1/1000. Yeah, 4 1/1000ths of an inch.
I'm
diameter
old. I can't
round.
see that.
It's really itty bitty. But I was excited to see if I could make something really small. Thank you so much.
This is looking really good.
And here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this piece of basswood plywood. I'm gonna show you the design I cooked up.
You have a lot of pro-grade materials here at the office, don't you?
You know, this is the home of proof grade, so we are well stocked for any such eventuality.
We took down an old fence at home, and so we have these 40-year-old fence boards. So we were thinking about
those are gonna
lasering
be
some
gorgeous.
designs onto that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You've used a calipers, right?
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the old way to make calipers? The old-fashioned style vernier calipers?
No.
They're like slide rules, but for calipers.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Same idea.
Yeah.
So I've got a design I made to do original style vernier calipers on a Glowforge. And this will actually, I tested this out. And
These are decent calipers. I like these.
Yeah, those are like, $20, but you have to have them.
True.
And sometimes you need to measure something and you don't have the calipers. So
we're making calipers.
I'm gonna make a pair of
That's
calipers.
amazing.
From
I love
scratch, hit the print, and it'll actually measure these things. And my best estimate was I got down to about 3/1000ths of an inch.
That's really good.
When I did this.
It's really, really good.
So let's see. So I'm printing this right now. Here we go.
It's preparing.
Doing the thinking thought.
You're in the fast lane. That's good to know.
That's right. And now it's there we go. 3 minutes.
Right.
3 minutes.
Dan, a couple questions about cloud, and also, can we read DXF5?
Oh, great question. Okay.
Wait. VFX?
DFF.
I got DXF.
Oh, DXF.
Sorry, DXF. Sorry.
Yeah. So let's see. 2 options for DXF. You can go into Inkscape and convert and bring it into DXF, and then it's included. There's a $20 a month premium package that includes a bunch of extra features and functions, and DXF is included in that.
Oh, so bring in DXF and export SVG?
Actually, if you've got premium, then DXF you can use natively.
Oh.
If you don't, then you can use Inkscape to convert it.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I love this.
And there was the cloud?
This is.
People are going to wonder because
It's Seattle, it's cloudy.
You're using
Wasn't
a web
that the
interface.
question?
Are there? And I know others have asked you this before, but what is the solution for people if the internet's out, or if a business can't use cloud access because of NDA material or something like that?
So this connects up via Wi-Fi, and then you use your tablet or phone or whatever to connect via Wi-Fi, and you have to have some connectivity to kick it off.
Okay.
Your connection could drop during it. It can be really cruddy. It works over super slow connections and all that nonsense, but you've got to have a connection there. All the material's confidential, so anything you send up is confidential to it, but if it has to be on-prem, I had the CIA, no joke, I had the CIA say, we will buy 50 machines from you if you let us go host everything ourselves. And we're like, yeah, sorry, no.
And that's not how it was built initially, right?
It is not how it's designed. And in fact, there's such wild machine learning and machine vision stuff that goes on in here. Like, it seems small, but when you turn on the Glowforge, it actually examines the bed image, compares that against learning from millions of prints, figures out where all the pieces are, and that's part of the boot up sequence.
Okay.
And so that's actually using a bunch of Google Cloud intelligence we wouldn't have otherwise. Look at this. Wait, you just gotta look. I love the precision of this. I love the detail that you get.
That's really cool.
Isn't that neat?
That's really cool.
So anyway.
Well, and it's understandable that some people just can't use cloud-based things.
Yeah.
That's just understandable.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, if you're doing this in a cabin in the woods, then you're not going to be having a great experience unless you get a cellular.
What about
connection.
schools? So schools
Yeah.
sometimes have lockdown Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi that doesn't have an easy way, a two-factor sort of authentication or.
Yeah, we've got I think over 1,000 schools as customers now.
Okay.
And so there's a whole host of different Wi-Fi settings supported, and we've generally found a way.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Everybody can make it work.
There was one. I tested a 3D printer at a school because it was supposed to be for kids and ease of use, and it was not able to attach to the school's Wi-Fi because it didn't have the ability to do that sort of encryption that they were doing.
Yeah, we added that. One of the great things about the cloud nature is we can push updates like that.
Okay.
So we actually did upgrade Wi-Fi compatibility across every existing Glowforge about a year ago. Turned that on, and suddenly.
Oh, that didn't need
better.
new
Actually,
chips
it
or
was
new
2 years
hardware?
ago.
That was
No.
Oh,
So we
okay.
could deal with more different approaches to Wi-Fi.
Okay.
There's been a ton of over-the-air updates. So faster, new features, new buttons, print scan, which we were talking about earlier, that analyzes your print. All that's been added as an over-the-air update after the machine shipped, because it's one of the things I love.
Yep.
It just gets better all the time. And here we go. It's done.
That looks. Geez, that looks really cool.
Right.
Bring it over here so we see it.
All right. I'm gonna grab this out of here.
Can you just give it a hug like I did?
Yeah, the Glowforge hug drops right out like it's supposed to. Okay, so I made this last week. I've not yet made the thing where like the pieces slide up against each other. So if you want to measure something, you put it down, and then
Well, we'll put it down over here, right?
here, like let's grab what's a good thing to measure the thickness
got-
of.
Right? 'Cause now we can see it. Am I right? Okay, there we go. Good. We can
So
see
like
it.
we've got this stir stick, but it's a piece of acrylic. So if you're going to measure, you slide that together, and whoops, sorry.
Oh, jeez, Dan.
There we go. Get it close, and then just
There we go.
clamp it there.
Yep.
And then the way you read a vernier slide rule is a little magical. You look at
There
the
we go.
1, so this is 0.1,
Yep.
and then you look at the number of notches to the right. How many is that? I can't see from here.
Where are we at? You mean?
The number.
There's
Look
one.
at where the 0 lines up.
Oh, the zero's over here.
The top 0 lines up.
It's
one notch.
between 1 and 2 notches past
Okay.
1.
So each notch past 1 is 0.025. So we're now
Oh.
0.125.
Okay.
And then this is the crazy part, and this is the part I'm not very good at, which is you look at which of the bottom lines is closest to which of the top lines. So, so yeah, it's a little crazy, but I'm going to look and say it's about 8. So the 8 line, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, is lined up with the one below it.
Oh, I see.
So I'm going to add 0.008 to that. So it's 0.1, 2, 5, but then I'm going to add 0.008.
So 1, 2,
3,
5.
0.1, 3, 3.
Well, no, because it was
that right?
125, and then we added 0.008.
Yeah.
So it's
Did I arithmetic
0.1.
wrong?
So it's 1.258.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
And let's see. 0.1, 2, 3.
3, okay.
What, you said 0.125?
Yeah.
So we're off by 2 thousandths of an inch.
That's pretty good.
2 thousandths of an inch.
That's pretty
and
good.
And that took 3 minutes. Wait, you got to tell your audience, did I cheat before? Did I do this before? You
no.
saw they brought the caliper up before.
No.
Nothing
we
up
had
my
the
sleeves.
caliper,
I'm very proud about
but
this.
that was
I'm
a
pretty
legit
stoked.
win. That was a boss move.
And
right
with
there.
that, let's summon Cthulhu.
Oh jeez.
What?
Okay.
Look at that.
It looks really good.
Man, that looks
I'm not gonna lie.
fantastic.
Like that looks amazing.
Where'd our duct tape go? Oh, we are right on schedule. Look at that.
Jeez. Oh yeah, can you? Okay, this is without taking the stuff off. How does that look? That looks...
That's hot.
But you just imagine with like a business with their menus on Slate, or a keepsake for an event, a family event on Slate, or just, it's so permanent but so stylish.
That is. Another thing I've seen is people do like a cheese board where they
What's
will
that smell?
engrave.
Does Slate
I've
smell?
never smelled that before. It might be the neighbors, because it kind of smells like pot.
It does smell a little 420. Well, there's a game going on, so people have to preload before getting to those.
That might be what's
the
happening
stadium.
in our parking lot. I've seen people do cheese boards where they'll like label each thing on the slate, and then you've got like your custom cheese board.
That's cool.
Then leave it
Well,
as
so
a
this
gift.
was where am I at? Here we go. This is Fotis Mint. He's done a lot of really amazing 3D like legit, but he did
That's
a 2D
incredible.
thing for us to be able to do on the Glowforge. He's in Greece. I should send this to him.
Yeah,
I should totally-
absolutely.
I don't know. Is the postal service good in Greece? Like, do you think I don't know. If it
you
gets
know-
lost, we'll make another.
Yeah, that's right. It's easy. Well, that's fantastic. Look at what we cranked out. We got the paper and the calipers and the stone.
We actually did
and,
quite a bit in an hour. Well, plus, okay, so just for everybody that sent something in, I know that we only got through a couple of these things, but because I have a Glowforge Pro at home, everybody else that submitted something, I'm going to get your designs lasered and sent to you.
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm going to make sure, because I know we
Now
couldn't
I'm
get through
feeling
all
guilty
of it.
because I stuck my Hexaflexagon and my calipers in place ahead of.
But we got the three
But
things.
we got the good
We got
stuff.
at least three of these. I mean,
got
look
the
at
ones we
this.
came here for.
We got some really good stuff.
That's
This one
so
though,
cool.
This one is that's really nice.
What's the name of the artist here?
So his name is Sean Rinna.
Sean, if you put this up on Etsy or something, like, let me know, because that's incredible.
That's so good.
That's a great
And
piece.
I just love the etchings that the machine did with the laser in here. Oh, so cool. Well, is that
That's
it? Are
incredible.
we good then?
I think that's it.
This was a lot of fun, dude.
It has been a pleasure.
Thank you, man. This was a ton of fun. I really hope you all enjoyed it out there. I had a lot of fun. Thanks for everybody that stuck around, asked questions. My Patreon audience sent me things to laser, and it looks like that was a success.
We got it done.
Maybe we do this again sometime.
I'd love to.
That'd be a lot of fun. It's more fun than Home Shopping Network, right?
It is a lot more fun than Home Shopping Network.
I
No,
figured.
no offense to our friends at Home
No,
Shopping
no,
Network.
no offense. Well, so typically I will offer the audience a high five. I say, don't forget to hug each other more because it's important. And then always, as always, high five. There it is. There we go. Bam, just like that.
That's fantastic.
That was fun. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you very much. That was